I didn't uncover my pattern until after 8 years of doing some of the work, but all I kept doing was getting to the better place. And so the first step to try to hold money in abundance is I want you to go to the store and I want you to go get $100 bill. And I remember doing this with a friend of mine and I said, they're like, I don't have $100 bill. I'm like, here, I'll give you $100 bill. And I gave him $100 bill and I said, put this in your wallet. And under no circumstances are you allowed to spend it. What is going on, everybody? Julie Murphy here, and I have been a financial planner for over 25 years, and what I have realized is that we work things out and we act it out through our money, through our health, or through our relationships. So it is time to get the acting part and toss it out the window because it's time for us to move into a life that we absolutely love. So do me a favor, could you? Before we get into does money burn a hole in your wallet, because I want to dive deep here because it's time for you to close the hole. Shut off that leaky container, right? I just want to remind you all, could you please do me a favor? Could you actually subscribe, hit that like button and notification bell, because I am here to help you to get to a life that you absolutely love, because it is time for you to shine. All right, are you ready? Okie dokie, smokies. So this burning money in my wallet, often we see this where it acts out in credit cards and then you hit credit limits and then you can't get credit for whatever. And then you do this, that. And sometimes, I've heard people tell me going, well, Jewel, I don't want to keep cash in my pocket because I don't actually want to, I don't want to lose it. And I'm like, okay, but let me tell you, you're losing a whole lot of other stuff if you can't hold money in your wallet and you're afraid of money. So I'm going to give you the first homework assignment that I think would be super important. If you're a person that doesn't really actually like to keep cash in your wallet, this is where I'm going to tell you on an emotional and energetic level, you have a challenge then in terms of holding money in abundance. And there's some kind of subconscious patterning. And you know that I talk all about Dr. Bruce Lipton's work. He talks about in his book, The Biology of Belief, that we have this trauma or rejection before we're age 7. Every human being has it. Okay? So when that happens, it could be whatever. It could be, I had one client that we figured out that it was that she got hit on the wrist by her grandma and it jarred her in some way that created how she responds to the world. We now know that those experiences in life are 97% of how we respond to the world around us. And this includes our money. So there's some experience that created like some patterns of I'm not enough, I am not worthy, I am not loved, that these patterns solidified. And now this is how it's coming out in our money. Okay. So I want us to dig down and really actually look at going, you may not know what that pattern is. You know what? I didn't uncover my pattern until after 8 years of doing some of the work, but all I kept doing was getting to the better place. And so the first step to try to hold money in abundance is I want you to go to the store and I want you to go get $100 bill. And I remember doing this with a friend of mine and I said, they're like, I don't have $100 bill. I'm like, here, I'll give you $100 bill. And I gave him $100 bill and I said, put this in your wallet. And under no circumstances are you allowed to spend it. And they're like, what? What do you mean? I go, don't spend it. I am telling you, Benjamin Franklin, or wherever you are from around the world, take, the equivalent of like $100 bill, something that's, of value, if you will, put it in your wallet and do not spend it under any circumstances. Why would I have you do that? Well, as you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I talk about that money is energy. Einstein proved it. E = mc squared. So we don't need to argue about that everything's energy or not. Science has proved that everything is energy, even your money. So If you put $100 bill or whatever your currency is into your wallet and you leave it there, and under no circumstances, if Benjamin Franklin on the front of that $100 bill is talking to you, or whatever currency that is that you have and you're putting in your wallet, if that currency on some level sending you some messages, it's because this is your subconscious mind. It's starting to come up. No different than when I'll have people address their emotion behind money. Because remember, from my book, The Emotion Behind Money, this is the workbook that goes along with it. It's Building Wealth from the Inside Out. I talk about the fact that emotionally, we have to get those emotions up and out. So putting this money inside of your wallet, this cash inside of your wallet, actually will, the parts of you that are financially scarce and not financially abundant will start to rise to the surface. So promise yourself that you're going to love yourself enough to keep that $100 bill in your wallet. Okay, that's number one. That is a very basic step that you can take if money burns a hole in your wallet. And I know it sounds silly, and some people will be like, Joel, I don't have $100. Okay, we'll start with the 20. I don't really, to me, this is about conceptually that you are going to get comfortable with holding money in abundance. Okay. Then it's about really knowing how, it's about increasing your awareness, right? So the first step is actually physically knowing how to hold money in abundance. Then we have awareness. Step number 2 is we need to increase your awareness around your money. Now, if money burns a hole in your wallet, you're probably not wanting to be too aware of where it's all going. And I will tell you, I had someone tell me recently that, Julie, I cannot believe my spending has gone down by 50%. Now, this person had the cash flow wherewithal to spend really what they wanted to spend, but they couldn't believe that once they got out of a relationship, a marriage that actually no longer served them, and had been a year or two of them working on themselves outside of that marriage that had been for over 20 years, they then had the space to, even though they had the financial space to spend whatever it is that they wanted, they actually had the emotional space now that they didn't need to create that spending hangover. Like, many people process their emotions by spending, and the majority of people are spending on credit cards or on student loans or mortgages and buying houses, cars, you name it, to process those emotions that are causing the havoc underneath. So I don't care if you're making a couple $100,000 a year or you're making $40,000 a year. This pattern is with every human being I have ever met. What is my awareness around my money? And I'm going to include a link below that's a worksheet, a debt worksheet. Okay. So I want you to now start to think of, oh, how do I approach this from a place of empowerment? Because not only do I want you to have the awareness. So step number 1 is physically get comfortable with money in abundance. If money is burning a hole in your wallet, that's the first step. Number 2 is I want you to increase your awareness. And I've included the links below for you to start to kind of nudge yourself into the direction of feeling a little bit more comfortable. And then I need you to start to come from it from a place of empowerment. So how do we come from a place of empowerment? And I want to use this as an example that even if you are, relying on someone else for your money, you may feel guilty that you're not doing your part. And that's why money then burns a hole in your pocket and you recreate these suffering patterns. Well, how do you shift to a place of empowerment? Is you start to say, I understand that this is my current circumstances, but how do I take my financial power back? And it's not about being a jerk. It's not about, being disrespectful to those around you. You just say, what does my heart want to do today? And I know some of you are going to try to give me some silly answers like, I want to go travel around the world, blah, blah. Come on. You know what? You have to increase your awareness about the reality that you already have created and that you already have, and then apply your place of empowerment from that place of reality. Problem is, most people have this huge such a big disconnect between their reality and where they desire to be, that's when it triggers all the blame, shame, guilt, and judgment. And then you just stay on the treadmill of life and you actually don't actually shift out of this money is burning a hole in your pocket. So when you start to look at even this person who is, to most people would think, completely financially well off and doesn't have to worry about it the rest of their lives, could choose not to work, but she's able now to do her heart work in the world. So she started mentoring younger people who are from very poor neighborhoods and she was using this extra cash flow to actually seed and plant and launch other souls into their passion and purpose for what they're supposed to do in the world. So no matter how many zeros you have, whether you're on the poor spectrum or you're on the uber wealthy spectrum, there is something that you can do to now start to shift into more of a place of financial empowerment when you start asking yourself the question of what's important to me today. Because nothing that happened over here in your past matters anymore. Because it's all about realizing what today is, accepting what that reality is, and then start planting the seeds and have your cash flow go towards the future that you really actually want to create. And that could be from what kind of bills you want to pay monthly to quality of life. I cannot tell you over the last couple of years how many people I've helped switch and go to different states and different countries because it's time for them to go live more in alignment with their heart. And it's not about where they were expected to live and do everything else. So just love yourself enough. Promise me that you will start taking this place to stop having money burn a hole in your pocket, whether you're spending 10 grand a month or you don't have enough and it seems like it's flying out as fast as it's flying in. Do these 3 steps. By put that $100 bill in your wallet, start to create a healthy, energetic connection with money. Second, increase your awareness. Use those worksheets I told you about below. And then third, decide how you're going to come from it from a place of empowerment. And if you're having some challenges, I'm going to be doing an online group coaching session soon. So look out for that because we are going to get you to exactly the life that you love because you need it. And don't forget, you can get my awakenyourwealthbook.com for free. You just have to pay for your own shipping. So I've gotten the link right there below. And if you need an individual consultation and you need some help, myself or any other financial planners in my office can help you. Just send an email to info@jmcwealth.com. And please, don't forget, hit that notification bell and hit the subscribe and like button. And please, the most important part, can you share this? Because if we share this with the world at large, then we're all going to get to a life that we love. And then we'll be focused on what's going on good in the world as opposed to what's not so good, which we know there's enough of that around already. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.